Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're digging into the world of health supplements. Our focus is on figuring out if these Nutrivana Cranberry Probiotic Gummies are, well, legitimate, based on the source material you sent us. They're pitched as this really easy, tasty daily helper for women's intimate health. You know, better gut balance, appetite stuff, odor control, promising pH balance, and confidence. It sounds like a lot for a gummy.
Okay, yeah, let's definitely unpack that marketing speak.
Yeah.
Our job here is to look at the main ingredients, cranberry extract and probiotics, and see how they stack up against, the product's actual promises. We need to figure out if the ingredients themselves are helpful, and then crucially, if this specific product has risks the ads don't mention.
Right. Let's start with cranberry. Our source says there's real science behind preventing urinary tract infection. Sort of. That sort of feels pretty important.
It absolutely is. It's key. See, cranberry seems effective for preventing UTIs, maybe reducing recurrence. It's not a cure. If you've actually got an infection, these gummies aren't the solution. What the cranberry compounds, these proanthocyanidins, seem to do is make it harder for certain bacteria to stick to the bladder wall. Think of it like a non-stick coating.
Okay. So it's more like defense, not attack.
Exactly. That changes the expectation completely, doesn't it?
It really does. Okay. Now, probiotics. We generally know they can help with digestion, maybe immune health. But let's look at this Nutrivana product specifically. Our sources are really clear that this gummy blend itself, well, it hasn't been checked out by regulators.
And that's the big reality check for almost any supplement, right? No official stamp of approval on the final product. So any guarantee results, that's just marketing. Effectiveness is going to be super individual. We're basically trusting the science behind the ingredients, not the product.
Okay, but people are still trying them. What are they actually saying? The feedback snapshot shows some users feeling fresher, fewer minor bladder irritations pretty quickly.
Yeah, those positive stories are out there, and they're worth noting. But we have to immediately talk about the potential downsides, the contraindications. Because here's something really interesting. Cranberry, the very thing supposed to help the bladder, can actually cause major problems for some people. If you happen to have interstitial cystitis, or IC, that's like a chronic bladder irritation condition, the acid in cranberry can actually trigger burning or urgency. It could make things much worse.
Wow, okay, so the acidity that might help stop bacteria could seriously irritate an already sensitive system. That's a huge watch out. And what about the probiotics? People often report feeling, well, gassy or bloated when they start. How do you know if that's normal adjustment or a bad sign?
That's a really common question. And yes, even with good quality probiotic strains, it's quite normal to have some initial gas, bloating, maybe mild stomach upset. Usually that's just your gut microbiome adjusting.
Yeah.
It often settles down in, say, a week or two,
Yeah.
but if it hangs around longer than that, or if it feels severe, then that specific product probably isn't right for your system. It definitely takes some personal trial and error.
Right, paying attention to your own body. Let's shift now to maybe the most critical point from our sources, drug interactions. There's a really strong warning about cranberry and certain medications.
This is absolutely vital, and honestly, it's why you always need to talk to your doctor before starting supplements if you're on medication. Cranberry can interfere with how the liver processes certain drugs, specifically through something called the CYP450 pathway. The most dangerous interaction highlighted is with blood thinners, like warfarin. Taking cranberry could potentially increase the drug's effect, raising the risk of serious bleeding.
That's incredibly serious for something you can just buy off the shelf.
Exactly. It seems harmless, like candy, but the potential interaction is life-threatening.
Understanding that mechanism, the liver enzyme thing, really drives home the risk.
So if we pull all this together, what's the bottom line? Well, if you're generally healthy, not on interacting meds, and looking for maybe a pleasant way to support general intimate or gut health, these gummies aren't totally bogus. The ingredients do have some known benefits. But, and it's a big but, results aren't guaranteed, irritation is possible, and you absolutely have to monitor how you react.
So considering there's no regulatory green light on the final product, and there's this very specific, potentially severe risk with medications like blood thinners, it leaves you with a tough question, doesn't it? How do you weigh that convenience, the appeal of known ingredients, against the need for safety checks and maybe talking to your doctor first? That's something to really consider.